Bam! Okay guys, I'm going to talk to you about building the muscle, getting the muscle gains on keto. As you can see, the muscle gains. This light is always the worst. It's always better by my window, but I'm trying to do a little background here. The muscle gains on keto. So in my earlier videos, I used to say this is the business, and I've been on keto like 5 years or 6 years. Now it's almost 10 years because I've been online a long time talking about this stuff. I want to talk to you guys and bodybuilders out there who fall, and power lifters and Olympic lifters who talk about, I want to do keto, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose my muscle. So let's hit this. I've spoken about it before, but let's nail it again. Now, first thing you want to do is have nice, juicy GLUT4 receptors that are efficient at clearing out glucose. That's very important. But the back smack lash on that is if your adrenals are freaking out, or if you've got high blood sugar and you don't realize it. A lot of bodybuilders have insulin resistance symptoms. Why? Because they're carb loading and they're eating 400 carbs. Now remember, your body can only handle 5 grams. So you go up to 400, even 250 grams of carbs a day. It's a lot of blood sugar that your body has to clear out. So eventually, because you can't poop or pee out the blood sugar that fast, the body has a safety mechanism to store it as fat to be later used. But in the wild, they don't eat freaking bread and juice and pizza. So you're just learning how to divide cells to make more fat, and then these become endocrine hormone freaking makers of estrogen, which makes more fat cells. So people start taking drugs to get to the point, or they start doing desperate measures of all this cardio and carb depleting in hopes to preserve their muscle and get shredded. Now, it is absolutely, completely so ridiculous, this concept, because most bodybuilders do not talk about what's going on inside the body when you do these things like eat chicken breast and rice, or brown rice, or white fish, or carb load and then carb deplete, and bulk up with a bunch of fast food and then starve yourself. And then on the outside, people think that that's such a good look. But I'm digressing. Let's get to the building the muscle part. You have to adapt first, people. In the beginning of doing keto, everybody's pretty catabolic. That means you're breaking down, because the brain's like, I'm sorry, where's my carbs? And you're like, well, we're doing the keto thing. You gotta learn how to use the ketones. And the body's like, well, I don't know what these ketones are, but you best start eating carbs again. And you're like, nope, I'm not going to do that. So you're very volatile in the very beginning. Once you deplete your glycogen in hopes to not only create the ketones, but use them, if your stress is up, if you're working out late, or job, or relationships, or any inflammatory things going on, or CRP things going on inside the body, it can block that keto adaptation, because stress raises your blood sugar. And if you got blood sugar so high, then why would your body want the ketones? Your brain's already addicted to glucose, because from childhood people are, look at me, I'm trying to think of one word. We are exposed, that's the word, to glucose so early on that the brain literally becomes addicted to it. So when you try to switch over to ketones, it doesn't work right away. So don't do hardcore workouts. Ramp everything down before you ramp it up. All you athletes have to do everything that everyone else does from the very beginning. Take down your workouts. Take down the volume, the intensity, the time at night. People are doing 2-a-days and they're super hypercatabolic. And give your body a chance to make viable ketones. Use a glucometer to test your blood sugar all freaking day long. You people are just doing fasted. Are you kidding me? What's your blood sugar after your workout? What's your blood sugar after lunch, dinner? What is your blood sugar look like at night? Be on fasted. Look at the trend, track it. And then you have to figure out if you're even making ketones. Because some people are like, yeah, my blood sugar's 65. And I was like, what's your ketones? Oh, there's 0.4. I'm like, oh, you're super, super, super catabolic because you're hypoglycemic. These things no one talks about. They make keto sound like some miracle. And because people lost weight on Atkins, they think that keto works the same. Nobody talks about the damage from doing these stupid diets. And yes, keto can be super stupid if it's not done correctly. So we have food sensitivities. Hello? Why are not people talking about this? Freaking taking cream cheese and frying it and eating that? And people who didn't eat cheese go online and they read this garbage and they might have a casein sensitivity and all of a sudden they're hyper inflamed and the ketones go into the urine, but no one else talks about that. People think I'm the food Nazi. No, I'm just smart. Duh. I've worked with people because I had all these inflammatory foods on in the beginning as well. All right, guys. What you want to do to build muscle is become insulin sensitive. Because your sensitivity means that the insulin is working really well, but you don't need to have bolus amounts of insulin released in the bloodstream to get rid of all the sugar because you're not using glucose that much. You're using ketones. This makes you less catabolic because if you have high blood sugar and you're not eating many carbs, where's that blood sugar coming from? Your muscle, your skin. That's where it's coming from. You're catabolic. You're either adapted or you're not. And all these people on the internet, bodybuilders talking about keto, they're not adapted. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know the science. Keto is dangerous for those who have the absolute wrong information. The wrong macros, the wrong lifestyle habits, circadian rhythm, what's going on with their testosterone, their hormones, like their cortisol rhythm. These things matter. So if you can get your cortisol regulated and your adrenals regulated, you're less catabolic, less gluconeogenic, and then your muscles just grow because you don't need that much insulin to get the amino acids into the muscle cells so they grow. You know, people who can't build muscle, they're very catabolic and the hormones are jacked. That's why it's so important to adapt first. You have to do what everyone else does, but once you adapt, like I am fully adapted, boom, you gain muscle. You have a pump because your kidneys learn how to rebalance the water. Right, guys, if you want to learn more, and you just build and build. I went up 15 pounds of muscle when I finally figured out how to dial into my being ketotic state. I had to change my sleep habits, my breathing habits, my meditation habits, anything that will reduce the stress and create a homeostatic balance. If you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. And as you guys know, I'm writing the Ultimate Keto book. And this stuff is included. I'm not making this stuff look easy. That's everybody else's job, to put some smoke and mirrors over your eyes. I'm here to tell you the truth because if you have the discipline and if you're willing to look at your prior health, you can be an athlete, you can build muscle, you can power lift, you can have the energy for it, but you have to adapt first. And that takes time. It can take a year, it can take 3 months. It's not taking a couple days like you read online. That's a bunch of crap. It's not even taking a week. No, because those ketones can be viable and unviable, and then viable and unviable. It's like this, and you can develop physiological insulin resistance from making ketones that you're using and then not using them because your adrenal glands are overworking when there's not enough consistency or balance. I'm running also a keto course on Facebook. It's a subscription based through my website. So don't just join the Facebook group because you actually have to sign up for it. And it's time for me to get going on this book because there's only one version of keto, and that's actually adapting, not this bull crap about refeeding and alcohol and different things of keto. No, there's only one. And I'm out.